Today from sold-out Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, a Pac-12 Big Ten matchup between two ranked teams. The number 16 UCLA Bruins take on the 23rd ranked Cornhuskers of Nebraska. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough. Happy to have you with us for one of the biggest games of this young college football season to date. And as the UCLA Bruins try to defeat Nebraska for the second year in a row, they do so while dealing with tremendous tragedy. The death of their teammate, sophomore wide receiver Nick Pasquale, who was struck by a car and killed early Sunday morning while walking along a street in his hometown of San Clemente, California. Obviously, it's been a very difficult week for the UCLA football program. Both teams today will honor Nick. With more down on the field, here's Shannon Spade.
Well, Sean, some things are bigger than sports, and that will be on full display here today. As you just mentioned, both teams honoring Nick Pasquale. The UCLA players and coaches will have a number 36 patch over their left chest. That was Pasquale's number. The Nebraska players will also have a number 36 sticker on their helmets. After the coin toss, there will be a moment of silence. At that time, the Nebraska student section will release 200 gold and blue balloons. And just another example of how much Pasquale meant to his players, they have designated a locker inside their locker room for Pasquale. It's something that they will continue to do the rest of the season at their away games. Now, Pasquale had only played in one game for this Bruin organization, but Jim Morris said he was so respected, so loved, and that his team takes comfort in knowing that Nick would want them to play on. Sean?
All right, Shannon, I'm joined by Chris Spielman. Jim Mora was so relieved that Nick Pasquale got a chance to live his dream of playing in a football game for UCLA. He played in the game against Nevada, their only game so far this year, in the blowout victory. And Jim doesn't know how his team's going to respond today. These are young men, many of them dealing with something like this for the first time in their lives.
You know, unfortunately, I had this experience back in 1990 in a game. Mike Utley had a spinal cord injury, and our team didn't know how to react. In 92, my roommate, Eric Andosek, was killed tragically. Two things can happen according to my experience. One, you want to honor the young man so much, and you want to play so hard that sometimes you lose concentration, and that takes over. Or the positive effect that can happen is that the team can honor Nick by how they play, how they concentrate, and how they focus. And just talking with Coach Moore this week, Sean, I think the team is ready to go, and they'll have that galvanizing effect and play well in honor of Nick.
Yeah, he thought they had a great week of practice despite dealing with this tragedy. Last year when they played in Pasadena, it was a shootout. UCLA won 36-30, and again this year, as was the case last year, we'll see two of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country.
Well, let's start with Brett Hundley, and Todd McShay at Scouts Inc. has him number 2 behind Teddy Bridgewater. Although when you look at all the billboards, you won't see Brett Hundley's name up there. But last year he was able to put 305 yards up on this Nebraska defense, accounted for 4 touchdowns. And that's against a pretty darn good pass defense that Nebraska plays. On the other side, Taylor Martinez. I know that Jim Moore is concerned about Taylor. In order for UCLA to be in this game, you got to contain number 3. And Taylor went 95 yards on a run last year against a tough Bruin defense.
UCLA 1-0 with a win over Nevada. Nebraska's 2-0 with home victories against Wyoming and Southern Miss. The opening kickoff from Lincoln right after this. And while we were away, the sellout crowd here in Lincoln did observe a moment of silence for Nick Pasquale in the student section. Release 200 blue and gold balloons in honor of Nick. As Jim Morris said about Nebraska, this is a very classy program with a classy fan base, and you would expect nothing less from the Nebraska faithful than the respect that they've shown today.
Obviously, and you look at college football, and although the competitors on the field, we're all part of one family and one sorority. And you're right, Sean. Nebraska does know how to do it and honor Nick, and I'm sure Jim Moore and his staff appreciate that.
Morrow Bondi will kick off. Nebraska won the toss and deferred. Wearing black jerseys today. Bondi's kick about 7 yards deep into the end zone. Down by Stephen Manfro. So UCLA, after scoring 58 points in the 58-20 opening win against Nevada 2 weeks ago, an off week last week, led by the quarterback, sophomore Brett Hundley from Chandler, Arizona, threw for 274 and rushed for 63 against the Wolfpack. More than 91,000 on hand, trying to make life difficult for Hundley.
It looked like he was encouraging Noyes, accepting the challenge.
Out of the gun, design run. Showed good patience and fumbled the football at the 25. Looked like Torian White, the right tackle, got on it for the Bruins. They'll mark it at the 28-yard line for a gain of 3.
You're going to see the speed of Randy Gregory, the defensive end, number 44, in pursuit, able to knock that ball behind because the ball was not tucked up against the body. Lack of ball security on Hundley's part.
Hundley plenty of time. Then his pass batted down by Ciante Evans. Intended for Darius Bell. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Sean, you're going to see that all day. Nebraska loves to get in your face and challenge those wide receivers, and they're very physical. There'll be a lot of contact, and right there, Ciante Evans did a good job avoiding contacting and coming in with the right hand to knock it down.
An outstanding secondary players. Evans, one of the team captains. 5-man rush. Hundley throws. First down. Shaquille Evans, their leading receiver, breaks free and goes all the way into Nebraska territory, out of bounds at the 38-yard line, chased out by Ciante Evans. A 33-yard gain on 3rd and 7.
And one thing that has haunted Nebraska is their lack of tackling in open space. They had him nailed for a punting situation, and Stanley Jean-Baptiste whiffs on a hit.
Out of the pistol, the handoff to Jordan James, and he's swung down behind the line of scrimmage by Nathan Gary. True freshman linebacker. They're starting 2 true freshman linebackers in Gary and Josh Banderas today. Loss of 1 on the play. And Chris, you're right. Last year in UCLA's win in Pasadena against Nebraska, the Nebraska coaches counted 295 yards of offense for UCLA after initial contact by a Nebraska defender. They did a horrible job of tackling. Jordan James ahead for a yard. It'd be another 3rd down and 9 this time.
As they're going up to hurry up here, that's a point when you're in man-to-man, and if you miss in the open field, a lot of guys' backs are turned so the ball carrier can carry it for extra yards before they realize that someone is running free.
They marked it right on the 38, so it's 3rd down and 10. They converted on 3rd and 7 a moment ago. Devin Fuller went in motion. Just a 4-man rush. Plenty of time for Hundley, and his throw is incomplete off the hands of Shaq Evans. Right at the 1st down marker. Stanley Jean-Baptiste had the coverage. The Nebraska defense that gave up 653 yards of offense to the Bruins at the Rose Bowl last year.
You almost get a feeling like Bo Pelini's down there with a little bit of a sigh of relief, because they really don't know what kind of defense they have after giving up 600 yards versus Wyoming in the opener.
First career punt for Sean Covington, a true freshman, a wobbler, and a fair catch made by Jamal Turner. Going to mark it at the 9-yard line. The Bruins did not punt in that season opening win against Nevada. 29-yard boot for Covington in his first for UCLA. Here's Taylor Martinez, his 4th year as a starter, the only quarterback in Nebraska history to start a season opener for 4 straight years, and he's won all 4 of them. Off to a very good start this year. 6 touchdown passes, just 1 interception. He's thrown 3 touchdowns in each of their 2 games so far. Amir Abdullah moves in behind him in the pistol and gets the call. Tackled by Miles Jack. We'll talk about true freshmen. There are a lot of them playing on both teams, and here's Jack starting in his 2nd college game. Nebraska up very quickly. Martinez throws through the hands of Kenny Bell, their best receiver. Crowd didn't like the pop he took from Ishmael Adams after the ball. Went through his hands. Impact Players brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
You have Amir Abdullah right there, the big threat running back. Kenny Bell, normally the sure-handed overthrow there, but he'll move up in the record books today. And of course, on defense, we already highlighted him. Deontay Evans, which will be the nickel back, which is like an outside linebacker against UCLA.
3rd down and 7. Nebraska was 1 for 11 on 3rd down last year against the Bruins. A big problem in that close loss. Martinez throws and incomplete. Intended for Quincy Enunwa. And Brandon Sermons in coverage. And a 3-and-out for Nebraska.
Well, those are 2 catchable balls that the receivers will normally bring in. That was the good pass. The rule generally is that, Sean, if you can get 2 hands on that, you got to bring it in if you're a FBS football player. 2 drops early on for the Cornhuskers.
Sam Foltz, another freshman in this game, the punter. Punting to Shaq Evans. The little breeze there is at the back of Foltz as he punts. On a beautiful day. Mostly sunny skies, temperature near 70 degrees. Fair catch made at the 41-yard line. 47-yard punt by the freshman Foltz. Bruins and Huskers meeting for the 2nd year in a row. It's the 12th meeting all time, dating back to 1946. The last time UCLA came here, Nebraska won behind a big day by Lawrence Phillips. Both teams ranked. And it's interesting in the polls. Nebraska's 23rd in the media poll, 15th in the coaches poll. A wide disparity. Paul Perkins carries. On 1st down, he got 2. His first carry of the day. Another freshman. And it's interesting. A lot of the people who vote trying to figure out how good Nebraska is. The 8 spots difference between the 2 polls is the biggest disparity of any team in the country. Up the middle, Jordan James. Big challenge on offense for UCLA this year, replacing Jonathan Franklin, their all-time leading rusher, who was drafted in the 4th round by the Green Bay Packers. And he ran for more than 200 against Nebraska last year.
Jordan James got off to a good start with Nevada, going for 156.
3rd and 2. Hundley throws, intercepted. Intended for Evans, picked off by Stanley Jean-Baptiste. All the way back inside the 30-yard line.
We talk about communication. The communication between a receiver and a quarterback. You have to be on the same page. Gregory has made his presence known. He might have tipped that ball, but I think what happened was Hundley's going to throw the back shoulder. And number 1, Evans didn't come back for the football. Now, Hundley has to read that because Evans was behind Stanley Jean-Baptiste. That's where he has to go over the top. So the lesson there, quarterback and receiver better be on the same page, but against a tough man-to-man coverage, they'll make you pay, just like they did.
Hundley had gone 109 consecutive passes without an interception before that one. Jean-Baptiste has had 1 interception in each of their 3 games this year now. Jamal Turner in trouble and banged down right away out in the flat. Fabian Moreau made the tackle. Gain of 2. Nebraska had the ball for only 34 seconds on its first possession.
And you get Taylor Martinez involved with called runs. They've kind of been protected in the first 2 ball games.
5 receivers spread the field. Room for Turner. And he ducks down with a first down near the 15-yard line. Tackled by Anthony Barr. An 11-yard gain in the first down of the day for Nebraska.
It's fun to see the growth and development of Taylor Martinez, especially as a passer from the pocket.
High formation behind him now.
Old school Nebraska.
Amir Abdullah takes the option pitch and goes down at the 11. Anthony Jefferson in on the stop for UCLA as Abdullah followed the fullback C.J. Zimmerer.
Spoke with Amir yesterday, Sean. He was excited about becoming the feature back, an opportunity to make his name amongst the great I-backs.
Split time last year with Rex Burkhead. He's gone on to the NFL. Abdullah's rushed for exactly 114 yards in each of their first 2 games. On 2nd and 6 to the end zone. Touchdown. Quincy Enunwa. First catch of the day for Enunwa. He's caught 9 passes so far this year. 4 of them have gone for touchdowns. He's a senior, had 3 career touchdowns entering this year. He's had 4 already as a senior. Pat Smith, transfer from Western Illinois, adds the extra point. So the Huskers take advantage of the turnover. They've had 7 interceptions as a defense already this year. Took just 4 plays to capitalize on the touchdown pass to Enunwa.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official hangout for NCAA football. Buick. Visit your local Buick dealer to see why thousands of people are switching to Buick. And Wrangler. Nothing beats Wrangler comfort. Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
Always trying to adhere to their normal game day routine. The Husker marching band out here early, 6:35 this morning, practicing their pregame and halftime routines. They were out there practicing for more than 90 minutes. Big part of the game day experience in one of the great venues in all of American sport. Recently expanded Memorial Stadium. 6,000 seats added across the field from us. And another booming kickoff by Morrow Bundy. Let's go back and look at the touchdown by Enunwa.
Sometimes it's all about the sell. Watch his head on a slant route in the go. When he runs his route, his eyes will go back to the quarterback. And Enunwa's eyes go back to the quarterback. That causes the defensive back to jump the slant route. Then he's open on the corner route. It's good patience by Enunwa to run the slant, look back at the quarterback to get the defensive back to jump, then to transition to the corner in a perfectly delivered pass, well executed by the Cornhusker offense.
Enunwa, a big target as well. Another one of their captains. On first down for UCLA, Jordan James slid across the 30 for a gain of 6. Tackled by Josh Banderas, the true freshman middle linebacker from Lincoln, Nebraska, out of Lincoln Southwest. James again very close to the first down, just shy of the 35. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Thad Randall in on the stop for Nebraska.
True freshman linebackers from Nebraska. The lights aren't too bright. That's something that Bo Pelini told us yesterday. They're ready to play, and so far they're executing early.
Keeper for Hundley. If he got it, it wasn't by much. They're going to mark it beyond the 35, and a first down for the Bruins. Avery Moss and Josh Banderas, 2 freshmen in on the tackle for Nebraska. Bo Pelini in his 6th year as head coach. 51-20. Has won at least 9 games every year, but he's also lost 4 games every season. And here at Nebraska, they think that's a lot of losses. Hundley is a man wide open. Grayson Mazzoni down to the 25-yard line. Harvey Jackson made the tackle. So they've had gains in the passing attack of 33 and 39 have had the Bruins.
Yeah, this is just a nice little switch route when Mazzoni's the inside receiver. At the snap of the ball becomes the wide outside receiver. Play designed to create confusion, and it did.
Hundley keeps and weaves forward for a couple. Corey Cooper up from his safety spot to make the stop at the 22-yard line.
And one test you're going to find out if this Cornhusker defense is in condition, because the Bruin offense is operating at a rapid pace.
Bruins had the ball for 38 minutes of the 60 against Nebraska last year. Hundley in trouble and taken down back behind the line of scrimmage by Avery Moss. Freshman from Tempe, Arizona, with his first career sack.
He's coming off with a nice little swim rip, and a good job of Nebraska closing down the running lanes and not getting too far upfield. And Avery Moss beats the young offensive tackle Goins off the edge. Excuse me, that was Torian White, number 77.
Don Papuchis, the defensive coordinator, signaling in on 3rd and 11. Just the second sack of the year for Nebraska. They played some quick passing attacks. Tough to get to the quarterback. Hundley throws, dropped in the flat. Not a perfect throw, but certainly catchable by Devin Fuller. Sophomore from New Jersey, was highly recruited by Nebraska as a quarterback.
Yeah, they'll come back to that because they had a matchup with the linebacker Nathan Gary, one-on-one with Fuller, and that's a matchup they'll look to exploit again as we move forward in this ball game.
Interesting formation here. 4 men spread out to the left. And they shift into field goal formation now. Kaimi Fairbairn. This will be a 45-yard try. And with all the formationing,
UCLA.
Timeout called by UCLA. They're about to run out of time. Emotional start to this one. One of 4 Pac-12 Big Ten matchups on this college football Saturday. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Shannon Spake back in Lincoln, Nebraska. Beautiful day in the capital of this great state. UCLA and Nebraska. Huskers capitalize on a turnover to score a touchdown. Kaimi Fairbairn trying to kick a 44-yard field goal. He was 1 for 2 against Nevada. Made one from 40, missed from 48. That one needs to hook, and it did. Looked like one of Chris Spielman's tee shots, kind of a snap hook.
I was going to go with Jim Furyk popping a 59 yesterday.
How about that?
Wow. Playing to win.
And like yours, in the end, right down the middle.
Yes, sir.
Fairbairn, sophomore from Hawaii, had a good year last year. It was 16 out of 22. And one of the big plays of their season, kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired to give them the 45-43 win at Arizona State. It was a terrific first season for Jim Mora. They went 9-5, won the Pac-12 South. Now they're favored to repeat. Lost in the Pac-12 title game to Stanford, lost in the Holiday Bowl to Baylor. But all in all, a better than expected year for UCLA last year, including the win over Nebraska.
He believes his best years are ahead of him, and you look at the roster and the amount of young folks that play on this team and the talent that he's able to recruit. And quite frankly, the time to strike is now when you have crosstown rival USC struggling a little bit.
They've dominated college football in Los Angeles for a while, but it is certainly shifting, it seems, toward the Bruins now. Fairbairn sends a wobbler down the field. Carroll Newby, the freshman, had trouble fielding it. He's out of bounds at the 29-yard line. 27-yard return. There is a flag down at the 15-yard line. Pac-12 officiating crew in this non-conference game.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 11 on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Come on, Andrew.
Andrew Green called for the penalty.
Again, this is one time where you have to be disciplined, knowing that you're not going to affect any part of that play at all. You have to have the discipline to lay off and save it. Don't touch anybody. Don't block behind the football. Rule number 1 in the return game.
Out of the pistol, the ball at the 8-yard line. Abdullah up the middle. Cassius Marsh made the tackle. Returning starter, senior on that defensive front. A lot of youth around him.
Big, solid football player. Long. You like those defensive ends to be long. At 6'5", getting those throwing lanes with his arms if he's not getting there with his legs.
Abdullah, nice cut. And he's not very big, but he showed he's powerful. We talked to him yesterday, Chris. He walked into the room in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. He is a very solid 195-pounder.
Yeah, and he wants to be great, Sean. And we saw that last year when Burkhead went out and Amir got an opportunity. He runs with passion, and this is what I like. He runs with toughness for a little guy, fighting and driving for every yard.
Rushed for over 1,100 last year despite splitting time with Rex Burkhead. Good fake by Martinez, and the throw too high over the head of his freshman tight end, Cethan Carter, out of Metairie, Louisiana. Anthony Jefferson had coverage for UCLA.
Well, you might want to come back to that play because Anthony Jefferson was there a tad late.
One of the highlights of this college football season, every college football season, the Rose Bowl game. This year, the 100th Rose Bowl game. Played in a beautiful setting in Pasadena. Stadium also the home of the UCLA Bruins. Nice catch by Kenny Bell, and a great move. He was able to shake Fabian Moreau, and it took Anthony Jefferson, the safety, to come over to get him across the boundary. Gain of 18.
Open field tackling on both sides. Watch this little shake and bake. Let me give you an ankle breaker. Wow. And watch this. This is what I like. Does not run out of bounds, but lowers his shoulder to fight for the extra yards. That's why this crowd loves number 80, Kenny Bell. He'll give you everything they have.
He was a very popular player. Has great hair. There it is. And coaches were telling us at Halloween about half the kids in Lincoln go out as Kenny Bell with big wigs. Whistle stopped the play.
Timeout, Nebraska.
Confusion on the Nebraska offense. Fans boo. They have to burn the timeout. Each team has used one. Nebraska leading UCLA 7-3 here in the first quarter in Lincoln. So the catch by Kenny Bell a moment ago, 93rd of his career. That moves him to a tie for 7th with that terrific former Husker, Matt Davison. Both with 93 catches all time. Of course, when Matt played back there in the late 90s, they mostly blocked.
I see.
Calls himself a wide blocker. Congratulations to Matt going into the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame tomorrow. Great two-sport athlete in this state, football and basketball. Amir Abdullah carried. Cassius Marsh and Anthony Barr made the tackle. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9, Nebraska leading 7-3 as we approach 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Martinez, wow, he got stood up and rocked by Jordan Zumwalt, and the ball's out. Now the officials are indicating that Nebraska got it back. The official from the far side of the field came running in, indicating 3rd down. But what a hit by Zumwalt, senior from Huntington Beach.
The beautiful thing about it, Sean, it's proper technique. Heads up, wrap up, and run through your target. It doesn't get any better than that. Outstanding. Looked like he caught him in the helmet.
Yeah, it looked like helmet to helmet there.
But his face was up, and he didn't catch him with the crown of the helmet. That's beautiful. That's art.
Martinez grew up in Southern California, UCLA fan. I think he's less of a fan of the Bruins right now. His pass incomplete. Miles Jack had coverage on Anunwa. Came up kicking and screaming, looking for a flag. And now there is one.
It looks like
Pass interference on the defense, number 30. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
anytime you can get Anunwa matched up on Miles Jack, they'll try to take that. And Miles is actually in pretty good position. The right arm is going to hook and grab the back shoulder pad. He didn't have to do that. And sometimes as a true freshman, you get so nervous, and that's where you have to be able to trust your training in the heat of battle.
And there Abdullah crosses the 50-yard line. Gain of about 5.5. Penalties were a problem last year for the Bruins. They were the most penalized team in the country. Flagged 129 times in 14 games. Almost 90 yards per game in penalties. Still managed to have a very good year. Jim Moore thinks they could have a terrific year this year, but he said we are really going to be good in the next couple of years. Taylor Martinez on 2nd and 5 throws incomplete over the middle. The general direction of Cephon Carter. Anunwa was also in the vicinity. Tough really to tell for whom that was intended. 3rd down and 5.
I think that was intended for the true freshman Carter, matched up with Zumwalt, and the problem is they were playing man. Carter set it down. If you play man, then you got to take the route and run across the field. So that's a true freshman making a true freshman mistake, but they have a lot of faith in that young man, and they'll come back to him.
On 3rd and 5, Martinez flushed, has terrific speed, has a first down to the 44-yard line. Run out by Cassius Marsh.
I mean, this is a killer. You got everybody covered downfield, but when you have an athlete that has probably plays at a sub 4.540, keeps the chains moving with his legs, he's something. I mean, I don't think Taylor gets enough credit for how good he is, especially running the football. He ran one for 95 against the Bruins last year, and Sean against Wisconsin, the Big Ten championship game, he ran one for 130 yards running all over the field.
It wasn't officially 130.
No.
Martinez hands it off straight ahead to Amani Cross. Tough run. He's a powerful backup to Abdullah, 225 pounds. Here's Shannon Spake.
Hey, Chris, Sean, you guys were talking about Taylor Martinez yesterday. The coaches told us he puts a lot of pressure on himself, wants to win a championship. They try to relax him on the sidelines. No relaxing for him. I haven't even seen him sit on the bench.
Tosses it back to Cross. He has the first down. Then got planted by Eric Kendricks.
Bo Pelina told Taylor, the person you have to please is yourself and your teammates. You can't worry about all outside influence. Just play within yourself. And when he does that, he's very effective. And right now, the offensive line of Nebraska is very effective. They're winning the physical battle up front.
Bo Pelini thinks it's his best offensive line in the 6 years. Martinez's pass incomplete. Looking for Sam Birch. Good coverage from Brandon Sermons. Fabian Moreau.
Boy, I like that call, though, Sean. You're running the ball, and you're pounding it, and you're pounding it. And you come back with play action on first down, trying to catch those safeties, sneaking up there to help out on the run.
Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, does a terrific job. They're very balanced. Last year, they averaged more than 200 yards rushing and passing per game. The only team in the Big Ten to do that. Terrell Newby, the receiver, young man out of Los Angeles, came down to Nebraska and UCLA, chose Nebraska. Jim Moore said we were very disappointed we didn't get him. He thinks Newby's going to be a terrific college football player. On 3rd and short, the quick snap, and Abdullah looks like they're going to give him the mark right on that yellow line for the first down. He was tripped up by Miles Jack. Brown's telling Bo Pelini to go for it, but it might be a first down. He wants him to measure it.
Yeah, I think it's that close. You probably should get a measurement out of that.
Well, they're not going to measure it. Abdullah on 4th and inches has the first down.
Well, that's something you don't see. Going back in the highlight films of the Nebraska team of the 70s. Running the power sweep, student body right.
Good block on the last play by C.J. Zimmerer. 16th play of the drive. They started at their own 8-yard line. Abdullah down to the 14, got 3. Lee Epinesa made the tackle with help from Anthony Jefferson.
See, right now there's some fresh bodies coming in for that UCLA defensive front, trying to keep them fresh as Nebraska's operating at their rapid pace.
Final minute of the first quarter. Nebraska trying to add to its 7-3 lead. Abdullah goes in motion. Martinez throws underneath. Caught. Touchdown. Second of the game for Quincy Enunwa. What a drive by the Huskers. 92 yards in 17 plays. Extra point good by Mauro Bondi. Quincy Enunwa has 2 catches today, both for touchdowns. He has 10 catches for the season. 5 of them have ended in the end zone.
You see right here, it's a little bit of a switch route. You're going to get somewhat of a pick out here, and another one's going to come inside. If you're the defense, you can't give a free release to the inside receiver, expecting inside help, but inside help was late. Then Goforth comes in to make the tackle. He's tackling at the ankles. And Newton says, I'll have nothing to do with it. I'll go over the top, just like he did. He's a good football player, all-around good wide receiver, especially blocking, and has courage to go into the middle to catch the ball.
Martinez and Enunwa were both from California. There are 9 Californians on this Nebraska team. Only Nebraska and Texas have sent more players to the University of Nebraska football team than the state of California. They do well recruiting. I bet Taylor Martinez's younger brother Drake is a freshman on this team. Stephen Manfro back deep for the kick from Mauro Bondi. Kicking with the breeze. That'll be his 3rd touchback of the opening quarter. Through the uprights. Let's check in now with Chris Cotter in the studio.
Time for the Taco Bell Live Moss moment, and Stanford's Michael Rector is living Moss thanks to some great concentration, hauling in this Kevin Hogan pass after the tip right before the goal line. There it is, 26 yards later. Stanford with the 1-point lead, getting a dogfight from Army, though, at Michie Stadium.
Another one of the great venues in college football, right along the Hudson River. Jordan James, Paul Perkins around Hundley. James took the handoff. Taken down by Josh Banderas with help from Stanley Jean-Baptiste, who was up around the line of scrimmage.
What a dream for Josh Banderas. His father was a tight end here for Nebraska, right here in Lincoln. Starting your true freshman year against the UCLA Bruins.
Tom Banderas played here in the mid-'80s. Hundley's pass dropped. Good throw. Grayson Mazzoni couldn't catch it. Son of Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, does such a great job. He's the architect of this offense. Final seconds of the first quarter. 3rd down and 6 for the Bruins.
Well, Hundley needs to settle down just a tad, Sean. He's off target by a hair on a couple throws, uncharacteristically.
Here comes the rush. Gregory got him from behind. The sophomore Randy Gregory in his first year in Nebraska as a junior college transfer from Arizona Western Community College, where he didn't play at all last year with a broken leg. That leg is healed now. Terrific first quarter for Nebraska, leading 14-3.
Here's a Husker fan photo, sponsored by First National Bank.
Tonight on ABC Saturday Night Football, an in-state rivalry. Number 21 Notre Dame taking on Purdue. The Irish trying to bounce back from that tough loss last week at Michigan. Number 21 Notre Dame and Purdue. ABC Saturday Night Football presented by Windows tonight at 8. Sean Covington punts with the breeze at his back. Wow. All the way back to the 2-yard line goes Jamal Turner. Had trouble fielding the punt, and it really cost him.
Well, it almost felt like that wind kicked up and like a knuckleball coming in there.
Breeze has kicked up a little bit. We're expecting gusts today up to about 19 miles per hour. 67-yard punt. The flags indicate that the breeze has come up, and it was right at the back of Covington. So Nebraska heading into the wind. They just marched 92 yards on their last drive. And to go 97 this time. Out of the end zone, Martinez hands it off to Abdullah, trying to run wide, and that wasn't a good idea. Stuffed for a loss by Miles Jack and Eric Kendricks.
Nice job by Lou Spanos, getting aggressive down here, trying to create something with his defense, coming after him, and Miles Jack showing his speed coming all the way from the backside to get a TFL, tackle for loss.
Quick hitter this time. Abdullah bounced off the pile. Looked like they'd get him at the line of scrimmage. Instead, the Bruins couldn't get him down until he reached the 7. Kendricks and Anthony Barr made the tackle. Bruce Spanos, Jim Mora, and a lot of the staff, plenty of NFL experience. Jim Mora was in the NFL for 25 years before he came back to college football as the head coach at UCLA. 3rd down and 6. A big time to come up with the 3 and out for the UCLA defense. Abdullah says that's not going to happen. Junior from Birmingham, Alabama, out to the 18. 1st down on an 11-yard run.
An underrated trait of a running back is vision. To be able to see the whole line of scrimmage, find space, then have the burst to get through that space. Exactly what Amir Abdullah did to get the 1st down to keep the chains moving for the Cornhuskers.
Monty Cross has come in now for Abdullah. He gets the handoff up the middle and gets swung down at the 23. Pickup of 5 for Cross, a sophomore from Gainesville, Georgia. He rushed for over 100 yards in their opener against Wyoming, 105 and 2 touchdowns. As usual, deep and talented at running back, Jamal Turner has the 1st down, it appears. It's tough to tell where the official on the near sideline is going to mark it. Anthony Jefferson made the tackle, junior safety from Los Angeles. They put it on the 29. 1st down, Nebraska.
And you're seeing an offense right now that's operating in rhythm. They're doing what they want to do. They're comfortable and they're confident.
2 out of 4 on 3rd downs. Having just 1 3rd down conversion last year. Martinez taken down at the 33 by Jordan Zumwalt. Flag back behind the line of scrimmage, the offensive backfield.
And this will be a big one on number 41, Jake Long.
There are 2 fouls on the play. 12 men on the field for the offense. That penalty is declined. Illegal formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. That penalty will be accepted. 5 yards, remains 1st down.
When you get tricky with all your different formations, you always run the risk of having that happen.
The ball back at the 24, 1st and 15. Martinez swings it out to Kenny Bell. And it's shoved across the sideline by Jordan Zumwalt. Going to mark it at the 31, a gain of 7. Really haven't called Anthony Barr's name much. Outstanding outside linebacker. Many believe will be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft in the spring. 13.5 sacks last year. Only Jarvis Jones of Georgia had more. He's now in the NFL with the Steelers. Martinez throws to Bell again. Excellent move and a first down. He danced away from the defender.
Well, this is an awful lot to put on Miles Jack, the true freshman linebacker, covering Kenny Bell one-on-one and trying to make a play in space. But what I liked, two things, was the ability to gain the first down after the catch, but also the timing of the pass before Bell's head turned around, the ball was on its way.
Jack couldn't tackle him. Moreau got him across the boundary. That is a tip ball by Anthony Barr. He's made his presence known. The question I would have, was that going to be a shovel pass forward? Apparently not.
Nice job, awareness of Anthony Barr. And this may be a touchdown-saving play by Taylor Martinez. Let's see if the ball, can't tell from that angle if it was forward or behind. But watch this catch right there by Taylor Martinez, having Anthony Barr handle him. That could save points for the Cornhuskers. Great athletic play by Anthony Barr.
Loss of 20. Second down and 30.
The prior play is under further review. The rolling on the field was a fumble recovered by the offense.
I think, to me, live, it looked like he was pitching it forward. The shovel pass, if it goes forward and winds up incomplete, it's an incomplete pass.
Absolutely.
I think that's what the replay booth buzzed down to investigate.
We know that Abdullah was behind. Quick hands by tough to tell. Usually when it's tough to tell, they'll
stay with the call on the field.
Sir.
Well, let's see that.
I mean, I can see how one can see how that's a forward pass.
Yeah, that's what I thought live. I thought he was pitching it slightly forward. I mean, Barr is upfield of Martinez as he knocks it down. Ken Baker's the replay official. Pac-12 officials on the field. Ken Baker out of the Big Ten in the replay booth in this Pac-12 Big Ten matchup.
That's, again, I mean, it wasn't a pretty play.
After further review, the rolling on the field stands. Second down.
Stands not confirmed, so it just means there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call. And I would agree with that.
Yep. That was a huge play, though, by Taylor Martinez to be able to snatch that ball out of midair, having Barr hanging on his shirt and jersey.
Nebraska controlling the first half. They have 12 first downs. UCLA has 3. Second down and 30. Design run for Martinez. He ran 92 yards for a touchdown last year against the Bruins in Pasadena. That was the longest run ever by a Big Ten quarterback. Eddie Vanderdoes made the tackle. Help from Anthony Barr.
That was part of the game plan, according to Coach Beck, to get Taylor involved in the running game. They were able to maybe subdue some of that against Wyoming and Southern Miss. But he completes their offense with his ability to run traps and draws off the quarterback position.
Carried just 6 times last week against Southern Miss in the one-sided win for Nebraska. On 3rd and 18, they're relying on Abdullah to do a lot of running, and he's tackled well short of the first down at the 38 by Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr. Kendricks led the Pac-12 in tackles a year ago.
Not bad possession by Nebraska. They started it backed up against their goal line, and they were East able to change the field.
Sam Foltz to punt. fair catch made. You can see the effect of the wind on that punt as Shaq Evans had to come sprinting up to haul it into the 30. A 31-yard punt. 14-3 Nebraska, second quarter. Here's today's Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
I want to know who was the president of the United States the last time Nebraska did not sell out Memorial Stadium for a home game. Sold out again today. Stadium record crowd, as a matter of fact, with the expansion this year. There's a little bit of a hint. 328 straight sellouts. 91,471 here today. Brent Hundley on first down. Catch made by Devin Fuller to the 35, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 for UCLA, down 14-3.
Boy, and Randy Gregory continues to harass Brett Hundley. The speed off the edge is giving those tackles problems.
Jordan James stuffed to the line of scrimmage. Vincent Valentine, the ball's out, but his forward progress had been stopped. The referee blew it dead. Just shy of the 35-yard line. Valentine is a big freshman at 325 pounds.
Yeah, it's tough to single a nose guard. You're asking an awful lot of a center that has a guy about inches from his face to be able to move him off the ball, especially at 325. You need to take a guard, chip down on him, then chip to the next level to give your center a chance to get that block.
They're young but talented up front. Crowd saw the replay. They thought it was a fumble. Third down and 6. Paul Perkins went in motion. Brett Hundley's throw caught but short of the first down by Devin Fuller. Good tackle in space by Zaire Anderson. Mentioned that was the huge problem last year for Nebraska. They couldn't tackle the great skilled people of UCLA in the open field. They've done a better job of that today, by far.
Well, they brought Zaire in for Nick Gary. Zaire's a little bit quicker and faster and better on third downs, so they can match up man-to-man. It's fumble.
Problem at the snap by Covington. The freshman in trouble and taken down at the 27.
Fundamentals. A good snap right in the hands. And sometimes with freshmen, they learn hard lessons. The lights get big. Huge challenge for the Bruin defense right now to keep them off the board at all costs.
When we talked to Jim Moore about Covington, the freshman who hadn't punted prior to today. They didn't punt in the opener. Said he has a terrific leg, but prone to the shank from time to time, and undoubtedly some nerves. With his first game as a college punter, Amir Abdullah carried for 3. Remember, he took over for Jeff Locke, who's now with the Minnesota Vikings, drafted by your brother, Rick Spielman. And Jeff Locke was a little bit shaky and nervous in his NFL debut last week against the Detroit Lions.
He'll get better.
He will. He's a very talented punter, as the Bruin fans well remember. Taylor Martinez throws, corner of the end zone, caught! Touchdown, Kenny Bell.
It's all about trust. This ball is in the air right now. Kenny Bell goes up and is able to find it because the ball is underthrown a little bit, but it was still released early enough where Kenny Bell can get his head around it and win the jump ball against Fabian Moreau. There's the toughness of Taylor Martinez taking a shot from Vanderdoes and still delivering the strike and giving his guy a chance to make a play.
So UCLA making mistakes and the Cornhuskers making the Bruins pay. Just 2 plays to take advantage of the dropped snap by Covington. Extra point good by Pat Smith. So Taylor Martinez, who's improved dramatically as a thrower over his 4-year career because his mechanics are better, has thrown another touchdown pass. His 3rd of the game, his 9th in 3 games. It's 21-3.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Cooper Tires. Tires built for your life's everyday road trips. Come on, let's go. Cree LED bulb, the biggest thing since the light bulb, and the all-new 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander.
22-yard touchdown reception by Kenny Bell. His last 11 touchdown catches have all been for 20 yards or longer. He is a big playmaker for Nebraska. Laurel Bondi kicking off into the breeze for the first time today. And that goes out of bounds, shy of the goal line. And breeze is kicked up. It's a factor, and it influenced
kick out of bounds.
Bondi.
Ball be placed at the 35-yard line.
You heard the ball come out to the 35. Gives us a moment to answer today's Aflac trivia question. Who was the president of the United States the last time Nebraska did not sell out a home game here at Memorial Stadium? You got it right. The answer is John F. Kennedy in 1962. Today's sellout, number 328 in a row, by far the longest in the nation, dating back 51 years. Bob Devaney's first year as head coach. October 20th, 1962 against Kansas State, the last time they didn't sell out here at home.
It's a great venue for college football. It epitomizes college football.
With tremendous fans. Brett Hundley needs to get the Bruins going. Good decision there to keep it. He runs for about 6. And I think, Chris, it is fair at this juncture, with as poorly as the Bruins have played, to circle back to the opening of the telecast, the death of Nick Pasquale last weekend, wondering how the Bruins would play, and you wonder if that has had an impact. Of course, it's also a 9 a.m. start for them, 9 a.m. Pacific. Avery Moss swung down Jordan James. Jim Moore didn't think that would be a big deal. They practice at 7 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles Pacific time.
Right. I'll tell you what else is happening, Sean, is that the defensive ends of Nebraska are handling the young sophomore tackles of UCLA on about every play.
And that is a spot where the Nebraska coaches thought they might have an advantage. Good catch by Devin Fuller at midfield for a first down. John Papucha said we really need to win the matchup of our defensive ends against UCLA's tackles. Both of them are sophomores, as Chris said. Strength of that offensive line's the left guard, Xavier Suafilo, all Pac-12 last year. After being out of action for 2 years on a Mormon church mission. James carried for a yard. And the Nebraska defenders we talked to, Chris, said Suafilo's legit. He is talented and has a little bit of a nasty streak, very physical.
He has a big nasty streak, and I love watching that kid play, and he's matched up one-on-one with number 53, Thad Randall, the best interior lineman for the Cornhuskers.
2nd and 9, all day to throw for Hundley. Has a man, far side, first down, Darius Bell. UCLA could really use a score on this drive, and they're marching nicely. A 17-yard gain on this play.
It's a good job of Brett Hundley surveying the field, looking back to his left, nothing there, understanding where Bell would be and delivering a strike. If you're Nebraska's defense, you cannot get complacent. This offense is very explosive and can score points in a hurry.
As they saw last year in Pasadena, Paul Perkins across the 30 to the 29. UCLA had a narrow lead in the opener at home against Nevada 2 weeks ago, and then outscored the Wolfpack 41-7 in the second half.
It says something about their ability to make halftime adjustments under Jim Mora.
Wound up winning 58-20. Brian Polvian's debut in Reno as head coach. Long throw down the middle, incomplete over the head of Fuller, with Ciante Evans in coverage.
It's a well-thrown ball right there, because Ciante Evans had him covered well underneath, and Fuller actually got a hand on it. But there's one man that I love about Hundley is he trusts his arm. He's going to throw a guy open. He's not afraid to throw into coverage.
3rd and 7. They're 3 out of 8 on 3rd down. They are in field goal range. The blitz picked up. Hundley incomplete. Handed to Jordan Payton and batted down by Stanley Jean-Baptiste, who's at one time a wide receiver. Here comes Kaimi Fairbairn on to try a long field goal.
Yeah, real quick, they recognized man-to-man coverage, so they try the crossing routes. They were lined up, Fuller was lined up inside the numbers, and that's a crossing route, and they saw that in practice on Thursday. So Baptiste just played the route before the receiver played the route. Excuse me, that was Ortiz running the crossing route.
46-yard try by Kaimi Fairbairn, and that one is good. Just inside the right upright. Just 2 yards short of his career long, which is 48 a year ago. 4:39 left until halftime. Nebraska leading 21-6. And while we were away, the fans behind the uprights to our left, where Fairbairn just kicked the field goal.
The field goal was wide right. It was unsuccessful. Ball be placed at the 29-yard line. Nebraska's football, 1st and 10.
Well, the fans were gesturing widely behind these goalposts that the kick was wide right. Here's a look at the replay, and you will see, as the replay official Ken Baker did, it was wide right.
Wow, that was as close can get.
Bo Pelini, as we were away, saw a replay on the big screen, livid with the officials. And after a while, he calmed down when he realized it was being reviewed. So the kick is no good. The 3 points taken down off the board. And it's still 21-3. The ball goes to Nebraska, 1st and 10 from their own 29. Pistol for Martinez. Amir Abdullah. Ahead for 2. Eric Kendricks, another tackle. He's from a great football family. His dad Marv led UCLA in rushing back in 1970 and 71. His brother Michael was an outstanding linebacker at Cal. Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, now in the NFL. Martinez on a delay to Abdullah. Across the 35, about 4 short of the first down. Here's Chris Cotter.
Time for the Dr. Pepper 10 conference update. Oklahoma out of conference today, facing Tulsa, and Roy Finch is going to take this little screen pass, 29 yards for the score. The big story here, Blake Bell, 279 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in the first half. The Beldos are taking flight.
All right, Chris, thank you. 3rd down and 4.
Man coverage on Kenny Bell.
Right up the middle, pressure. Martinez has lost the football. There are whistles for a false start against Nebraska. Ellis McCarthy got the great penetration.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It's probably the only time in his career will Anunwa get congratulated by having a penalty, because McCarthy came scot-free, stripping the ball, and Taylor's had a problem with ball security over the years as far as fumbles go.
They had a big problem last year with lost fumbles. They lost 22 fumbles, had 35 turnovers last year. Nebraska was minus 12 in the turnover area.
Is that matchup, Sean? Away from trips, Kenny Bell, one-on-one.
Martinez pulls it down and runs on 3rd down and 9. Only a yard, well defended by Cassius Marsh. And Nebraska will punt as the clock rolls under 3 minutes left in the first half.
It's a nice answer by the Bruin defense. Getting off the field, momentum lost with the missed field goal, answering with a 3 and out.
Stoppage for an injured Cornhusker. It's Jamal Turner. Junior came here as a quarterback, has become a very good wide receiver. We talk about the transition of Nebraska over the years. For so many years, one of the dominant running teams in college football. Recent years transitioned into the spread offense principles under Bo Pelini, and they have a deep and talented wide receiver core with Bell, Anunwa, and Turner combining for 124 catches last year.
It's a veteran group, which helps Taylor Martinez and those guys working the whole offseason, spring ball. And when you're able to put that together, then the improvement and work of Taylor Martinez in the offseason and how much better of a thrower he has become, it pays dividends once the season starts, as it's done so far this year. Jamal Turner. And it's interesting, Nebraska does everything they can do to combat cramps. Even here on Thursday, they had a tray full of pickles for everybody to consume so they wouldn't get the cramps.
Is that a good cramp preventer?
Well, that's what they tell me.
Did you help yourself? I know you were in practice on Thursday.
Shannon grabbed about 6 of them. I, of course, didn't.
Shaq Evans back to get the punt. Randall Goforth also back deep for the boot from Sam Foltz. Nebraska will take its time. Could have taken a little more time. Good kick into the wind. Evans had to drift back near the 15-yard line. Has some running room. They get tackled by the punter, Foltz.
Nice, Foltz.
They've had problems on defense with open field tackling. Maybe they need to put Foltz on defense. The punter, an impressive display.
It was. He came in there. Sean, we talk about it. Foltz has been watching. Stay off the head. Heads up. Wrap up. Bring your feet. Foltz. Good hit.
Here's a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Quarterback comparison. These two terrific dual threat quarterbacks. The upper hand to Martinez by virtue of the 3 passing touchdowns.
Nice field position right here for Brett Hundley and the Bruins to get something going on offense going into the half.
Out of the pistol. Hundley, long time, throws a deep ball. Too long for Shaq Evans. Had a step on Corey Cooper. He can fly. He is their deep ball threat.
Boy, they had him too, Sean. They're going to be in the film room saying we left 6 on the board, and that's normally a ball that Hundley will connect with his favorite wide receiver, Shaquille Evans.
Led the Bruins last year with 60 catches. Jordan James thrown for a loss by Michael Rose, another freshman linebacker. He's from Kansas City.
The luxury of depth, of youth, and most importantly, speed. Michael Rose goes untouched and is able to sneak in there and get a tackle for loss.
That's a key point, Chris, speed, because Bo Pelini and John Papuchis thought a reason they tackled the Bruins better in the open field this year is they have more speed with these young linebackers. 5 wide receivers on 3rd down and 12. 4-man rush, and they still pressure Hundley. He stays on his feet. Moss couldn't get him down. And now Hundley running for the marker. And where are they going to spot it? They're going to give him the 1st down. Well, Pelini doesn't like the spot, but it is about a half-yard beyond the 1st down marker at the Nebraska 48.
Every Moss has a shot. Thad Randall has a shot. But Hundley showing his ability and field awareness to get to the change and reach the ball over the 1st down marker.
The Cornhuskers do not like the spot. I think they might have a point. And Bo Pelini has summoned the officials to the far sideline.
It's challenging the ruling on the field of the 1st down.
Well, we have to see where the ball is. Remember, the official is going to spot where the position of the ball. Watch his left foot is
his right foot.
Yeah, his right foot down right there, and the ball is right at the marker.
Well, if anything, it's at the marker, as you said, not a yard beyond it, which is where they marked it. But it's possible they could move the ball back a little bit, and it could still be a 1st down for UCLA. It's awfully hard to tell, though, from that angle where the ball was when his foot touched down on the far sideline. He retreated all the way back to his own 27.
A huge hustle play by Ciante Evans running from the UCLA Bruins sideline, where he was in man coverage chasing Hundley down and even making it close.
So with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the half, a big replay review here.
A big first down for Jim Moore again to get some momentum heading into the half.
Bruins came in number 16 in the AP poll, number 17 in the USA Today poll. Well, Nebraska is playing the third of 5 straight home games to open the year. They have a very favorable schedule. They play 8 games here at home this year.
The ruling on the field of a first down stands. The replay booth contacted the field prior to the challenge by Nebraska. Therefore, there is no challenge by Nebraska, and they retain all their challenge privileges.
That's nice of them.
That seems fair because it, at the very least, should have been reviewed. And again, I would say it just wasn't conclusive enough to overturn the call. But to me, UCLA benefited by at least a yard on that spot.
Be interesting to see if Nebraska stays with their man-to-man coverage in this type of situation. When you're in man-to-man, you're vulnerable to the big play. Or will they sit back, be a little protective of the lead and play zone?
Very important possession in this football game for the Bruins. Down by 18. Hundley, man open, caught by Fuller in stride. If he had been in stride, rather, it would have been a touchdown. He had to lunge a bit for it and had to go down at the 16.
This is a wheel route, and they're matching up Gary, number 25, the true freshman linebacker. They're in zone, but they clear the safety out with the outside receiver, getting a one-on-one matchup. Speed beat Gary on that particular play.
Well, he was in stride. He just stumbled as he avoided the tackle or tried to. Perkins, the ball carrier. Or Hundley, the ball carrier. And Michael Rose made the tackle at the 10-yard line. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4, nearing a minute to go. The teams at 2 timeouts. Hundley handled the low snap, and it's a touchdown for Paul Perkins. Second touchdown of the year for Perkins. And a huge touchdown drive for the Bruins. Really Fairbairn on for the extra point. No disputing that that one was good. And it's 21-10. Huge third down conversion by Hundley to put them in this position.
We saw Michael Rose make a great play early in the drive. Right here, he gets blocked, allowing that open hole, and that's blocked by Suafilo, the fine guard for the Bruins. That's that true freshman. You live with their mistakes, both good and bad. Good isolation, good call by the Bruins to hit it right up the gut.
Big play, that 13-yard run for a first down on 3rd and 12 when it looked like they had Hundley stacked. Coming up, the Cooper Tires halftime report. John Saunders, Jesse Palmer, scores and highlights from around college football. Sean Covington will kick off. Kenny Bell, Terrell Newby back deep. Should be able to bomb this one with the win. And here comes Taylor Martinez. Imagine it'd be a conservative approach with under a minute to go. Starting from their own 25. How would you evaluate Taylor's game?
I think outstanding, and you see the improvement of passing from in the pocket. Able to use his eyes to look defenders off, come back to his number 1 option. And again, it's the timing and the trust that he has with his trio of receivers that makes him precise.
Talk about how his throwing's improved. You could also see how much more comfortable he is just in the role of being the Nebraska quarterback. Much more comfortable in our meetings, being around the media. 4 years experience of doing that. Crowd thought Abdullah got grabbed by the face mask by Zumwalt. Just got spun around. It doesn't look like Nebraska's going to be in a big hurry here. Of course, with home run hitters like Martinez and Abdullah, you can pop a big one in the run game.
Yeah. I like Zumwalt. He's been physical today and staying off the face mask. But what an answer, though, Sean, by UCLA on that drive to get points on the board before half.
Martinez can't find any running room. Alertly stays inbounds. UCLA is going to use a timeout with 20 seconds left in the half. Tonight on ESPN, 2 ranked teams highlight a primetime college football doubleheader. At 7, Vanderbilt in Columbia to take on 13th ranked South Carolina and Davion Clowney. Then at 10:30, a very interesting matchup. We mentioned it today of 4 Big Ten Pac-12 matchups. Number 20 Wisconsin, first really stern test of the year against Arizona State. That's at 10:30 on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. And in that matchup, neither of those teams is allowed a point this year. Wisconsin's played 2 home games. Arizona State played Sacramento State. So you anticipate at some point there'll be some scoring in that one.
I look at that game a lot like I look at this game. You know, it's cliche to say that it's a game to see how good you are. Well, for those teams, I think there are a lot of questions out on Wisconsin and a lot of questions out on the Sun Devils. But it should be an exciting game. And I love the matchups between the Big Ten and the Pac-12. I think it's a great idea, and they're getting after it.
The Big Ten, it would seem in particular, because it has been much maligned in recent years, could use a couple of statement wins today.
Yeah, Ohio State has Cal tonight. It should be an interesting game. See if Braxton Miller plays.
Amir Abdullah carries. Kenny Clark made the tackle, another true freshman defensive lineman for UCLA, and UCLA has used its last timeout of the half. With 18 seconds to go, they'll force a punt by Sam Foltz into the wind. Washington and Illinois playing today. Big win last week for Illinois over Cincinnati to get them to 2 wins, matching their total last year under then first-year coach Tim Beckman. As you mentioned, the Buckeyes out in Berkeley, and Wisconsin at Arizona State.
Washington had a nice victory against Boise. Coach Sark has them going out there.
So there's Foltz, who blasted a 54-yarder into the wind last time out. He's returned 26 yards, and then Foltz made the tackle on Shaq Evans. Evans and Goforth back deep again. UCLA, we should point out, it won't be an issue here because they're not rushing. It's blocked 9 kicks in 15 games under Jim Mora. They had a blocked punt in the opener against Nevada. Fair catch made by Goforth. Good field position. There is a flag down back near the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation on the offense. Too many players in the backfield. The 5-yard penalty. They added to the end of the play. First down.
Well, now you have a couple options. You can heave it deep, put the wind at your back, or try to go for a decent gainer that gets you into field goal position. You have to get out of bounds or run up and spike it after a first down.
Fairbairn showing he has the leg to hit from at least 50, plus he has a wind helper with him. That's why you use your timeouts and make them play.
And it's already been demonstrated, even if it's a little wide, they're going to give it to him anyway. Hundley throws a wobbler, caught. He was down on his knees, therefore he didn't get out of bounds. They will stop it to move the chains. Jordan Payton, the tackle, and that'll give them time to get up and spike it. And now what do you do? The career long for Fairbairn, they're going to send him on, is 48 last year. This would be about 54 with the wind.
I think this is the right call because he does have the wind helper, and he hit the last one pretty good despite going wide right. See if he puts that little draw on it again.
The 55-yarder with the wind. Jerry Neuheisel, the holder. And he hooked it. On the final play of the half, he was trying to get them within one score, but no good. And it'll be Nebraska's ball to begin the second half. Taylor Martinez threw 3 touchdown passes. Nebraska capitalized on a turnover and on a mishandled punt snap. Here's Shannon.
Coach, you guys were able to put some points on the board before the half. What have you seen out of your offense in the last 2 minutes that might have been missing the rest of the game?
Well, we look like ourselves finally. You know, we're a tempo offense. We play with a lot of confidence. I think that was missing early. I think the interception hurt us. You know, we've had a couple mistakes that have hurt us, but I think we can come back and get back in this thing.
It'll be key for your defense to keep your offense on the field. What else do you need to see out of them?
Well, we got to get the ball. You know, we need to take the ball away. You know, we don't have a takeaway yet. So, you know, the ball's out there for us to take. We got to go get it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Welcome back to ESPN on ABC College Football, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. We're at halftime here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Nebraska leading UCLA 21-10. Taylor Martinez threw 3 touchdown passes among his 116 yards. A couple of times Nebraska took advantage of the short field. Apparently Jean Baptiste had an interception early in the game, gave them just a 28-yard field, but they took advantage of to score a touchdown. And then that drop snap by Sean Covington, the punter for UCLA, set up another very short touchdown drive for Nebraska. But you got the sense, Chris, that UCLA started to find its legs at the end of the half.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that they were very emotional to start the game, and that might have had an effect on the slow start that they had. Then when you saw what UCLA was capable of, and especially on the offensive side of the ball, going down for that touchdown right before the half. And the good news, if you're a UCLA fan, they've had 3 passes or big play opportunities. 3 of them completed, Sean, for over 30 yards throughout that first half. So the big play is there to be had.
Covington kicks off with the win. Kenny Bell decided to run it out. Bad decision. He advanced it only to the 16-yard line. Taylor Lagasse made the tackle on special teams for the Bruins. There's a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Mentioned the 3 touchdown passes by Taylor Martinez. He's now thrown 3 in each of their 3 games this year. 2 of them to Quincy Enunwa. And the big drive at the end of the half for the Bruins, capped by the 10-yard run by Paul Perkins. And Hundley kept that drive alive, running for 13 yards on a 3rd down and 12. Martinez, quick pop down the middle, incomplete. Cephon Carter was being tackled while the ball was in the air. Jefferson, a brief protest, but that was about as obvious as it gets.
We told you in the first half they were going to come back to that play, and that's exactly what they did. The idea is to get the linebackers drawn up inside on the play action and hit the seam route with the tight end, Cephon Carter.
Number 23. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
The second accepted penalty against UCLA. Taylor Martinez and the Cornhuskers did not turn the ball over in the first half. Nor did they allow a sack. They had the ball for almost 18 minutes. Abdullah for a short gain. Here's Shannon Spake.
Well, Sean, both of these coaches told us before the game that they would find out a lot about their team after this game is played. Bo Pelini told me after the first 2 quarters he really likes what he's seen out of his players. He does feel, however, that they did not capitalize at the end of the second quarter. They could have put the team away, and they didn't do that.
Kenny Bell. Another nice run after the catch by Bell for a first down. Fabian Moreau chased him out of bounds.
You're going to be a wide receiver. You better be able to block like a noon one right here at number 18, allowing Kenny Bell to space to work. And again, making people miss in the open field is one thing Kenny Bell does well.
His 5th catch of the day. 97 for his career now. Cassius Marsh is the injured player. Senior from Simi Valley, California. Veteran starter, making his 28th career start today. It'll be a big loss if he can't go. He had 8 sacks last year, second on the team behind Anthony Barr.
He's a good player, right, Sean? Good dual threat defensive end. Plays the run very well. As you mentioned, those 8 sacks are hard to come by in college football. He helps Anthony Barr because he's usually the opposite side of Anthony Barr. So when he has opportunities, when you double Anthony Barr, he has been taking advantage of them.
First and 10, Nebraska. Jamal Turner caught the swing pass, and he is gang tackled. Bruins rallied quickly to the ball, led by Ellis McCarthy. Barr was also in on the play, and Eric Kendricks is in on every tackle, it seems. And last year in Pasadena, Nebraska had a very tough time on offense in the second half. Loaded out to the far sideline to Turner. There's Anthony Barr with the stop at the 46. So here comes 3rd down and 6.
It's actually a manageable down from Nebraska's point of view because the ability that Taylor Martinez does have to pick up yardage with his legs depending on the coverage that they'll see. And right now it looks like a 2-man.
Martinez throws, and it is caught for a first down by Jake Long, the tight end. There's an example of the maturity of Taylor Martinez that Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, was talking about. In years gone by, might be looking for the first and second option, and that was it. He was going to take off running no matter what. Now he stands in there and continues to go through the progressions.
Hit the 3rd option. Beck coming across the middle. Great point, Sean.
First catch by Jake Long. Carroll Newby, the freshman, back in there, tackled by fellow true freshman Miles Jack, who was a sprinter in high school. Jim Moore told us Jack could probably start at running back for UCLA. When they practice one-on-one covering receivers, he covers the wide receivers because he's too fast to be bothered with the tight ends and running backs. Quick throw and catch out on the far side. Zimmerer, the fullback, CJ, senior from Omaha, with his first catch of the year.
Versatility for Anthony Barr. Not only is he a pass rusher with 13.5 sacks last year, but shown his ability to drop and cover and make contact right when the catch hits because of the close coverage.
Barr credited with 8 tackles in this game. 3rd down and 4, Nebraska, UCLA 41. Martinez stays in there again and fires too high for Sam Birch.
You know, that's one where maybe you take it and run because you had tight coverage and he had an open lane. You take a look at this lane, you'll see this is the decision-making process. You're all about him staying in the pocket, finding first, second, and third option. But the most important thing is to keep the chains moving and do that with your feet. Instead, he tried to force one in there to double coverage with a little high pass, forced a punt.
By Sam Foltz. Keel Evans back deep. He's standing at his own 8-yard line. Wind has died down a bit, but it's still in the face of Foltz. You can see it help him knock down that ball. He'll be down at the 11-yard line. Down by Quincy and Unwa. So first shot on offense for Brett Hundley and the Bruins when we come back to Lincoln. Well, at halftime here at Memorial Stadium, former Nebraska quarterback Tommy Frazier was honored. He's been selected for induction to the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame. One of 14 FBS players selected in May. He will be officially inducted in December in New York City. 16th Nebraska player to be selected for the College Football Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Tommy. Great quarterback back in the early and mid-90s. Here's Jordan James off to the races for UCLA. All the way out near midfield. Chased down by Josh Mitchell and Corey Cooper. 38-yard run for James on the first play from scrimmage in the second half of the Bruins.
This is what they were talking about, the ability to make tackles in space. Harvey Jackson has him in his sights, and Jordan James gives him a leg and takes it away for big yardage.
A collision between Fuller and James still turned out to be a gain of 5 to the 46-yard line of Nebraska. Harvey Jackson, Deontay Evans made the stop for the Cornhuskers.
This is the rhythm that the Bruin offense wants to operate. They want that ball snapped about every 14 seconds.
Paul Perkins, the running back now. He scored the Bruins touchdown. They trailed 21-3. Momentum is clearly shifted in this game. Hundley pulled it down, but taken down from behind by Randy Gregory, a yard shy of the first down.
That's a triple option right there. He has the option to throw the screen, to throw it downfield, or take it off. And what you're seeing, Nebraska's jumping that screen route, forcing Hundley to tuck and run.
Hundley hasn't had a big statistical day. He has rushed for 36 yards. Carrying here for the first down. Using that 6'3", 222-pound frame. Thad Randall made the tackle. Feature about him on game day today. His mom, Julia Long, plays football for the Houston Energy.
And she's a defensive tackle. She gives him advice. He's got to use his hands, she said.
Hundley swings it out into the flat. Perkins missed tackles in space again by Nebraska. And Perkins is down to the 20-yard line. Josh Banderas finally got him on the new field turf, a gain of 20.
Excellent observation, Sean. This is where they get hurt because they play so much man-to-man. If you miss one guy, it takes a while for the rest of the cavalry to arrive to the party, and that's why Perkins has all that space to run.
Harvey Jackson is injured, starting safety junior. Second leading tackler on the team through the first two games. Looks like he's all right as he hops up. The missed tackle is by Deontay Evans, who's one of the best players on Bo Pelini's defense. Has to be disconcerting to Nebraska fans, Chris. Bo Pelini, well known, one of the great defensive minds in college football. He's earned that reputation over a long period of time as a coordinator and as a head coach. But when you look at the recent track record, the astounding point totals and yardage figures that they're giving up almost week after week, it has to make you concerned.
Yeah, and you look at their athletes, they're good athletes and good players. It's a lot of mental errors and a lack of execution. And if you talk to Bo and John, they're talking about lack of communication. So they basically dumbed it down a little bit because of the true freshmen.
I prefer simplified. Jordan James, the ball carrier, though that's the expression.
I'm quoting it. Yeah, I'm quoting it.
Josh Mitchell made the tackle. Gain of about a yard.
These are two good defensive coaches, and both spent a lot of time, as you mentioned, in the NFL. Patriots, Packers, 49ers.
John Papuchis, the coordinator, with significant input, obviously, from Bo Pelini. 2nd and 8. The very least UCLA in field goal range. And a flag thrown, some movement along the line of scrimmage by the right tackle, it appeared, Torian White.
False start. 77 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
You know the quality that Brett Hundley has that I love in a quarterback? He's like this. He's even. There's not ups. There's not downs. He's very composed, and that's what you want when you're down on the road, a guy that doesn't get rattled. We're seeing that from number 17.
He threw for 305 yards against Nebraska. Last year, the first of 3 straight games in which he threw for 300. He's the only UCLA quarterback to have 300 games in a row. Running for his life there and out of bounds with a 1-yard loss. Taken to the sideline by Josh Banderas. Thad Randall put pressure on. If you go back to last year, Bo Pelini's defense gave up 70 points in the Big Ten championship game and 640 yards against Wisconsin. Then in the bowl game against Georgia, 45 points, 589 yards. Then in the opener, Wyoming got 602 yards of total offense this year. Hundley throws first down. Another decent-sized gain against the Nebraska defense. A seam found by Darius Bell. And a good throw by Hundley for 18.
And give a gold star right there to that front 5 of gold helmets, giving the protection for Hundley to keep his eyes downfield, and you see him throw that fastball.
Jordan James inside the 5. I'm going to mark it at the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal. Nearly midway through the 3rd quarter. It was all Nebraska early. The game's tilted in favor of UCLA. James, touchdown. Again, very poor tackling. And UCLA is within 5. Will they go for 2, or with this much time left, just kick the point?
I think you go ahead and get the 1.
A little later in the game, you try to get within a field goal, but with more than a quarter and a half to play, they'll take the point.
I think they got confidence in their offense, Sean. They got their rhythm.
Fairbairn to kick the extra point. "14 unanswered points by the UCLA Bruins on the road in Lincoln, Nebraska, trying to beat the Cornhuskers for the 2nd year in a row. James capping a 10-play, 89-yard drive.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, brought to you by Chevrolet, find new roads, and Moto X, designed by you, assembled in the USA.
UCLA, 14 unanswered points. On that drive, they had 64 yards after a Nebraska defender made contact with the ball carriers. Nebraska done a pretty good job in the first half of limiting the number after they gave up 295 yards after contact last year in their loss to the Bruins in Pasadena.
Well, that's a definition of college football today on the offensive side. Everybody gets the ball in space, and it becomes athlete against athlete. And anytime you play man, all the other defenders are there. So if you miss the tackle, the runner runs for a long way before you can get help, until guys realize that their guy's not getting the ball. You got to run and rally.
Covington with the wind again. Too deep for Kenny Bell to return it as we check in with Chris Cotter.
Maybe a little Irish hangover in Ann Arbor today. Devin Gardner's going to take this one himself. 36 yards for the touchdown. The Wolverines have added another, and now they're up 21-10, finally taking control over the Zips.
They travel to the Wrench next week. The Michigan Wolverines take on the Yukon Huskies. In East Hartford, Connecticut.
The Huskies, see if they've improved from week 1.
Surprising loss to Towson for Yukon opened the year. Amir Abdullah straight ahead. They'll stack him up after a 3-yard gain. Here's Shannon Spake.
Well, Sean, hearing Cassius Marsh will be back into the game. They had him on the sidelines. You saw him go down earlier in the game. He was favoring the left shin area. They put some Flexall on it. They were massaging it, and I have seen him do some high knee runs over on the sideline, but they are telling me he will be back in the game.
That's good news for the Bruins.
Solid football player, number 99.
Martinez the fake to Abdul, the deep ball, one-on-one coverage, but way too long for Kenny Bell. Fabian Moreau, the sophomore from Sunrise, Florida, in coverage for UCLA.
First of all, Fabian Moreau reads the route of Kenny Bell. He's running stride from stride. He got a little hook there with the left arm on Kenny's right arm. Look back at the ball too early. He'll get pulled away. Right there, didn't get hurt by the overthrow.
Nebraska offense has gone stagnant. We mentioned a lot of their scoring in the first half helped by the short field. The interception return and the problem on the punt, and now Martinez is sacked by Keenan Graham. His first sack of the game. He had 2 sacks in their opener against Nevada. They had 2 as a team. He had both of them.
Well, there's no separation or nobody open, and when you're able to get pressure with just 4, that allows you to operate some double coverages down the field, forcing Taylor Martinez to eat the ball. He's got to look now, Sean, to get a little bit of rhythm. He's got to look to run it. If there's nothing there, use your legs. Then you come back to the pocket passing, but use your legs to help your team on 3rd down.
Absolutely no rhythm at all right now in that Nebraska offense. Sam Foltz punts, and they go for it, going backwards for a moment. Had to find some running room. And grind him into the ground at the 42-yard line. Zaire Anderson made the tackle. Tonight on ABC's Saturday Night Football, presented by Windows, the Battle of Indiana, Notre Dame, number 21, against Purdue. At 8 o'clock Eastern time. Played every year since 1946. The Irish have won the last 5. Tonight, 8 Eastern, right here on ABC.
Got a feeling Coach Hazel will have those guys ready to go for the Boilermakers.
Chance now with a touchdown to take the lead for UCLA. Thomas Duarte, the tight end, with the catch. And they're into Nebraska territory very quickly to the 45-yard line. Corey Cooper made the tackle, and they come up very quickly after a 12-yard gain. Inside to Jordan James to the 40-yard line. Josh Banderas the stop. James will come out. He's up to 74 yards rushing now on 16 carries. Paul Perkins took his place. He goes in motion to the right. Hundley, quarterback draw. First down. Still running and tripped up at the 28-yard line by Harvey Jackson. And Harvey's hurt again. If he didn't make that tackle, Hundley might have been gone.
Right here, Randy Gregory does not hold his responsibility. His responsibility is not to let anything get outside. Randy got a little bit nosy. Hundley saw him jump inside. Hundley cut it outside for the big gain. I'll show you right here, number 44, who's played well today. Explosive player. Watch him jump inside. You see him jump inside there? There's nobody outside. That is his responsibility. And Hundley, with the vision and the patience of a calm, composed quarterback, makes a big play. With Harvey getting the left arm in there, as you said, Sean, that would have been more yardage.
Starting safety in Fresno, Texas. Second time he's had to be helped up and helped off the field. It's just the 12th meeting between these two schools. They've had some memorable games. Last year's was entertaining. Back in 1972, UCLA beat Nebraska in Los Angeles. That ended a 32-game unbeaten streak for the Huskers under Bob Devaney, which dated back to 1969. The next year here in Lincoln is Tom Osborne's first game as Nebraska coach. And the Huskers won it. And Nebraska beat UCLA in 1983. Was Osborne's 100th victory as head coach of the Huskers. Hundley on 1st and 10. Throwing! Caught! Touchdown! Shaq Evans. And the Bruins have come back from 18 down to take the lead.
Live by man coverage. You die by man coverage, especially with a sharpshooter like Hundley. Not bad coverage right here by number 5, Josh Mitchell, but the ball's placed only where Shaquille Evans can get the football. And again, they're doing what they want to do, the Nebraska's defense. They want to run it, they want to pass it, hit big plays over the top.
Fairbairn takes the extra point. UCLA trailed 21-3. They've scored 21 unanswered points. 28-yard touchdown pass to Evans as they struck quickly. Just 4 plays to go, 57 yards. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Shannon Spake back in Lincoln, Nebraska, where this game has completely turned around. Slow start for UCLA. Perhaps still processing their emotions. They're losing their teammate last Sunday morning. Nick Pasquale, sophomore walk-on wide receiver, killed when he was struck by a car in San Clemente, California. As Jim Morris said at the half, late in that first half, you could see that they were getting back to playing as they ordinarily do, and it's carried into the second half. Nebraska will start from the 25 after we check in with Chris.
Sean, I want to let the folks know what we've got on ESPN Networks right now. All second half action. Louisville and Kentucky. Teddy Bridgewater in the Battle of the Commonwealth. Oklahoma and Tulsa over on the Deuce. Blake Bell's having a huge day for the Sooners. And over on ESPNU, Bowling Green and Indiana. The Hoosiers can put some points on the board. Back to Lincoln with Sean and Chris.
All right, Chris, thank you. Very quiet crowd here now. Taylor Martinez almost across the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. And now they're gesturing at each other. Jamal Turner wanted Martinez to lead him a little bit with that throw, and he did not.
Here's what I do if I'm Tim Beck. I get Taylor on the sidelines. Son, you got to run the ball. We got to get positive yards. I know you're a good passer. Everybody knows you're a good passer. Let's help our passing game by you running the football.
They haven't been on the field a lot since the first quarter, and that doesn't help when you're trying to establish a rhythm too. Martinez. Wow, the entire defense chasing after him, it seemed, and he finally threw it away. Anthony Barr very near to him.
There's
some talking going on out there.
Sign of strength by Taylor Martinez to break the tackle of Anthony Barr.
Cassius Marsh has returned to action. That defensive front for UCLA, Shannon said that he would. 3rd down and 10. 3 out of 10 on 3rd down today after 1 for 11 against the Bruins last year. Rush picked up and the throw is dropped. Tyler Woolenweber was open, looked like he had it for a first down, and he couldn't hang on.
These are missed opportunities that when you watch the film, you come back and say, only if we would have been able to convert on that one. Tyler, normally sure-handed, and he's going to pop the ball out. And that's a catch you have to make, and it was a good read on a zone blitz by Taylor Martinez, throwing to the blitz side and the strong side out. One that he'll normally make.
Dramatic change in this game. It looked like Nebraska might blow UCLA out. Now it is all Bruins as Bolts is on to punt again. Very short kick into the wind. And sideways out of bounds near midfield. One of sports' greatest rivalries continues tomorrow night on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. The Yankees right in the thick of that wild card race, taking on the Boston Red Sox. It looks like they're going to cruise to the AL East title. Their magic number is now 7. Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow night, presented by Taco Bell at 8 o'clock. Also live on Watch ESPN.
Well, they'd like to have Jeter down this stretch, wouldn't they, Sean?
4 straight punts for Nebraska in 4 straight possessions. Hundley throws, and he is really heating up. Jordan Payton lost his helmet, so the play ends where his helmet came off at the 41-yard line. Headed Josh Mitchell with the stop, and Payton comes out of the game.
Sean, here's what's happening. Nebraska's not rushing. Look, they're kind of just forming a 4-man line to keep Hundley in the pocket, make him play quarterback. Well, if you make him play quarterback, that allows too much time downfield for those receivers to do work and get open.
12-yard gain. Hundley kept it, finds a seam. First down. Upended by Nathan Gary, the freshman, at the 29-yard line. And John Papuch is trying to find the answers right now.
I'm going to give him one. Start blitzing. You got to get aggressive because they're tearing you up right now. You have to take control and control the game and dictate what they do by your defense. Don't sit back and get killed. There's the blitz right there. Missed tackle.
Jordan James runs through the defense and looked like he just stumbled at the 23-yard line. Andrew Green credited with the stop. Well, this is not the week when the Nebraska defense has stopped all the big plays. UCLA's had 4 pass plays in this game of 28 yards or more. They've had a 38-yard run. Hundley all day to throw. Now running out of time and sacked for about a 1-yard loss. Avery Moss, Kevin Maurice, a couple of freshmen combined on the 3rd sack of the day for the Black Shirts.
Along with Gregory, and they forced him to hold the ball that time. That was a good job by the offensive tackles. The young sophomore offensive tackles give him plenty of time. That's the epitome of a coverage sack.
4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Sean, man across the board, blitz. Here we go, athlete versus athlete.
They do come on a blitz. Hundley got it off, and it's incomplete. Devin Fuller couldn't make the catch. Flag down near the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 6 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Just about anything that can go wrong for Nebraska is right now.
He hit him with his face mask. And you go, that's a penalty that you hear the boos and you understand the boos, but the rules are the rules. You cannot lead with your head. That's just the way it is.
At that point, there's no reason to hit him at all.
No, exactly.
Plays right there in front of him. You could tell he was kind of backing off. ducked his head and gave him a love tap, but as you said, that's going to be called every time, especially in this day and age. Hundley has a man open in the flat. Philip Rule lunging for the end zone. Touchdown, UCLA.
This has been a big running formation, and you're going to see Philip Rule sneak out into this to the flat area, and they get a nice little pick off the safety on number 11, Andrew Green. There's a pick on Andrew Green, who had a man-to-man that allowed him to create space. Hundley to deliver the ball, and the awareness to reach the ball across before his knee hits for 6.
Extra point good by Fairbairn. 28 straight points for UCLA. They have opened up a 10-point lead. See, after that touchdown, Nick Pasquale certainly foremost in their minds, their hearts, throwing his number over their hearts. As Brett Hundley held up the towel with Pasquale's number 36 that he's been wearing. Here's Shannon.
Well, Sean, remember what Bo Pelini told me after the half. He said that the thing that he was disappointed with in the first half was that they let UCLA back in the game. I'm standing on the sidelines. Bo Pelini looked at me and he just shook his head after that last possession.
What do you think Bo's asking about, the roughing the passer penalty?
Yeah, I think you have to. And you know, there's a lot of guys don't like it, but that's the rule. So you as a player have to be disciplined to pull up. And he doesn't mean to hurt anybody. He's not taking a cheap shot. He just kind of leaned into him. But if you make contact and you lead with your helmet, they're going to call it every time. He's a defenseless player. He's a pocket passer.
Sean Covington to kick off. Kenny Bell, Terrell Newby back to receive it. Both teams booming the kickoff in that direction with the wind. And been a couple through the uprights.
Right there, it's not a cheap shot, but anytime you lower that head and hit with the crown against a defensive player, it's an automatic flag. It's the right call, whether you like it or not.
And just dumb on the part of Cooper.
That's the whole thing. Heads up football. When you lower your head, they're going to get you, and they should, quite honest, because it's a protection of the players on both sides.
I should point out that going with the wind has certainly been a help to UCLA, it seems, in these last 2 periods. Nebraska will have the wind at its back in the 4th quarter. Breeze has been gusting up to about 20 miles per hour. Abdullah, first down run to the 30. He got 5. Anthony Barr, another tackle. 76 yards for Abdullah, youngest of 9 children. A Muslim family in the Birmingham, Alabama area. 17 years younger than his oldest sibling. What a likable young man he is. Really enjoyed the visit yesterday with Amir Abdullah. Ellis McCarthy stopped him. It looks like it's a first down. It is to the 35-yard line.
You don't know how good a run that was. Kendricks had him right in his sights. Perhaps the best, most surest tackler for the UCLA Bruins, and Abdullah on contact spun away, was able to get the first down. A tough run by Amir. He's a tough kid.
Grew up in Alabama, big Auburn fan. Thought he was going to go to Auburn, but they wanted to play defensive back. Nebraska said they'd give him a chance to be a running back. Martinez in all kinds of trouble and slammed down back at the 31-yard line. Barr and Jack weren't going to let him get away.
This is speed. And one of the reasons why Jim Moore incorporates 3-4 defense, because you can recruit linebackers that can run against spread offenses. And right here you see it where both Barr and Jack are players on the play.
Four-yard loss. Ball juggled by Abdullah. He gets hit along the near sideline. Jordan Zumwalt, Ishmael Adams combined for the play. UCLA has totally taken this record crowd out of the game. Nebraska in dire need of a big play.
Okay, you're going to see UCLA be a little bit passive right here. Play the sticks and play zone. Now let's see if Taylor Martinez, if he gets a throwing lane and turns it into a running play to gain some yardage. Only bringing 3.
comes Barr off the edge.
The four-man rush. Martinez takes off running. And he has more work to do. Got within 2.5 yards of the marker. Keenan Graham made the tackle. 4th down and 3, and that gesture was the punt. Couldn't tell if he was gesturing to go for it or not, but he's saying send the punting unit out there.
He did exactly that, Sean, but the problem was you want to do that when you're in 3rd and 6, because with zone defense, the defender's eyes are back to the quarterback so they can break up on the scramble run.
Sam Foltz on the punt. It's a fake. And it is stopped right at the line to make. Broderick Nickens carried the ball. Based on our yellow line, the nose of the football just did get to it.
I like the call. I think it's a gutsy call. I think it's a right call, except for one thing. I don't have an offensive lineman running the football. Now that makes 0 sense to me.
Huge measurement. And they're short. Short by about a foot.
Right here he is, number 69. Now, it's a good call. I mean, they're in good position, but you got a big offensive lineman that can run, and you have Goforth coming up and saying go back with a big, huge stop. You might want to get a skilled position, or at least a tight end in there, somebody used to carrying the ball that has the knowledge maybe to stretch the ball across the first down line if he knew it was there. Huge stance for the Nebraska defense right now. Challenge.
And UCLA having its way with that Nebraska defense. All kinds of time again for Hundley, and now Evans with all kinds of open space. Inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
You can't play man if you're not going to get pressure on the quarterback. You can't do it. You can't ask those guys to do it. And what is happening is Nebraska's getting 0 pressure. They were creating pressure in the first half, but you can't ask Deontay Evans to stay with a player the caliber of Evans all day, because it's just pitch and catch for these guys. They're too good. That's why you have to blitz if you're going to play man.
5th pass play of 28 yards or more. That one went for 37. Jordan James now down near the 2-yard line. Ridden down by Corey Cooper, Nathan Gary. Second and goal. Hundley throws, touchdown. They are making it look easy on offense. Nate Yesse made the touchdown reception. Backup fullback with his first touch of the year. Fairbairn for the extra point. 4 possessions in this quarter for UCLA and 4 touchdowns. Jim Mora has to be so proud. Everything his team's had to deal with this week, the death of a much-loved player on their team. Down 21-3 in a hostile environment, everything going against them. If they were trying to make Nick Pasquale proud today, they have succeeded.
They certainly did, and I love the play call. First of all, Nebraska's not lined up. You're going to see their defensive line standing up. They're not ready to play. Here's the Yesse right here going to sneak in. They're playing man coverage, but when you can run and pass, you get everybody jumping inside, and it's just pitch and catch. Outstanding play calling by Noel Mazzoni this second half, and in the first half, toward the end of the first half, where they got it going.
Those just joining us, Nick Pasquale, killed when he was struck by a car. Wide receiver for UCLA, walk-on. Jim Moore said when he looked at his high school tape, saw a guy who was 5'7", thought to himself, this guy can't play. But then he kept watching the tape and realized that Nick Pasquale had a tremendous heart. Invited him to walk on at UCLA, became a very important member of the scout team. Tremendous attitude, showed up to work hard every day. Loved by the other players, called him Pac-Man. This program has been devastated by the young man's death. This UCLA team will
attend his services tomorrow when they get back to Southern California. They wanted to honor his memory, and boy, have they done that with this performance.
Yeah, you know, Sean, it was hit particularly hard with Eric Yarber, the wide receivers coach, who after practice, Eric would go over to stretch Nick all the time, and when Nick wasn't there at practice, it really hit Coach Yarber pretty hard.
I said earlier this week, Eric Yarber, the wide receiver coach, went over after practice to stretch Nick Pasquale, and then realized that he wasn't there, and was very emotional on the practice field according to Jim Mora. Deep throw for Anunwa, crowd roaring almost in desperation now, and that's what this has taken on for Nebraska, an air of desperation, just heaving bombs and hoping for a flag.
Well, they're getting the matchup that they want, and they're challenging Morrow on the outside. They've kind of tried to go deep twice, and he's been in pretty good position to defend.
Martinez handed it off to Amir Abdullah. Tough run, first down. Out to the 36-yard line, the final seconds of the quarter. Miles Jack and Eddie Vanderdoes made the tackle, an 11-yard run. Abdullah very close to his third straight 100-yard game to begin the year. He's up to 92 yards rushing. That's going to be the end of a third quarter completely dominated by UCLA. They outscored Nebraska in the third 28-0. Had the ball 4 times and scored 4 touchdowns. The Bruins take a 17-point lead for the fourth quarter in Lincoln. Welcome back to ESPN on ABC College Football, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. UCLA dominated that third quarter, scored 28 points. Nebraska just 57 yards of offense. Martinez has a man wide open. It's Amir Abdullah inside the 25. So with the wind at their back, they come out throwing, and it's a big gainer up the far sideline for 40 yards for Nebraska.
Yeah, it's just Amir Abdullah on a wheel route matched up with Zumwalt, the linebacker. And again, anytime you can get a running back with the skills of Abdullah on a very tough player like Zumwalt, you'll take it every time.
Martinez in trouble and sacked. Epinesa got him.
That's a luxury right there when you have a nose tackle staying his job, holding the middle and coming off blocks to bring down Martinez. He's got to make a decision a little bit quicker. If nobody's open, I'm telling you, if they want to get back in this game, he can help him and do what he does. Run.
A lot of work to do for the Cornhuskers here in the fourth quarter, down by 17. Martinez throws, caught. Quincy Anunwa fumbled, recovered by Jake Long. Inbounds along the near sideline at the 16-yard line. It's going to be third down and 2.
Good hustle play by Jake Long. Morrow with a good hit to force the ball out. Jake Long, not quitting, going over to help his teammate for a block, is able to pounce on a loose ball.
We'll talk about the big plays again this week given up by Nebraska, but the offense has done very little since the first quarter as well. And it's off the hands of Long. A little too high. And now a decision for Bo Pelini. Down by 17. You kick the field goal now and play for 2 more touchdowns, or you
get points right now.
Just thinking about it. Looks like they're going for it. Fourth down and 2. Offense on the field.
A hard count. Always alert.
Martinez looking to the sideline for some guidance. They do run the play. Martinez throws, and it is caught. Boy, that took a lot of effort to get the 2 yards. Jordan Westerkamp, a nice catch at the 12-yard line.
It took a lot of effort and strength by Taylor Martinez and the accuracy to throw on the run.
First catch of the game for Westerkamp, just the third of his freshman year. Abdullah falls out again and recovered by UCLA, it appeared. Officials say yes. Anthony Jefferson has it after Anthony Barr knocked it loose.
You want to see why Anthony Barr on Todd McShay's Scout Inc. is a top 5 player, splitting 2 blockers, able to lunge his body in there and get the weak point of the arm of Abdullah. Look at Anthony Barr. That's a big-time play, Sean. Defeating 2 blocks, making a solid tackle, loose ball on the ground. And Anthony Jefferson there to capitalize for the Bruins.
Brings the ball over to Coach Moore on that very emotional UCLA sideline, and you know if they win, there's going to be a lot of tears shed on that sideline and in that dressing room. Hunley hands it off. Jordan James up the middle. Barr was a running back his first 2 years, Chris, at UCLA under Rick Neuheisel. He wanted to be a running back. Told Rick that's what he wanted to play, but he really wasn't much of a factor running back. 6'5" running back with an upright style and not blazing speed. He has excellent speed for an outside linebacker. Rather ordinary for a running back. And Jim Moore got there. He thought Barr would be a good defender. And Barr finally said, yes, I want to be a factor. It was a good move for everybody. First down run for Jordan James. Seven-yard gain, first down. Here comes James ripping through again. He's at the 24-yard line. Chris mentioned earlier, many have Anthony Barr highly rated, including Todd McShay, who has him as the number 4 prospect in the country.
He's got Brett Hundley, the number 2 quarterback, behind the very talented Teddy Bridgewater. Best natural thrower in college football is Teddy Bridgewater.
James over 100 yards rushing now for the second game in a row with 103. Hundley elected to keep it. Chased down from behind by Harvey Jackson, who came on a safety blitz. Here's Shannon.
While the Nebraska offense was on the field and the defensive line was sitting on the bench, all the coaches, players, they were walking up to the defensive linemen, particularly the ends, Jason Ankra, Randy Gregory. They were challenging their toughness, telling them they just need to get back in the game and just really trying to get their heads back in this.
Well, they need to get pressure, and that's what they haven't gotten this second half. They had plenty of it in the first half. But it's very difficult to play man-to-man if you're giving Hundley 6 seconds to throw the football.
He's slowing down the pace now with a 17-point lead. That seems like a good idea. Even Manfro carries. The fumble by Abdullah was the first turnover of the game for Nebraska. Gary made the tackle. And I guess it's a tough call if you're UCLA because you have Nebraska on their heels. You're up-tempo, and it's working. But at the same time, there are 11 minutes to go, and you're ahead by 17.
Yeah.
You want to run some clock.
It is tough, but the other reason it helps you make that decision is that your defense is playing very well. So it's a little easier to make that, to get out of rhythm or timing a little bit.
Snap with 13. Paul Perkins. A short game. Josh Benderis, Vincent Valentine, the tackle.
He's been impressive today, Sean, as Josh Benderis. Bright future for that young man.
Third down and 4. Fans trying to get back involved in the proceedings here.
That's where the pressure has to come, from the ends.
They don't get to Hundley. And he doesn't get the first down. Got a yard. Got popped at the 34. Randy Gregory, Corey Cooper in there. But they did a nice job of running some time off the clock. Game clock under 10 minutes remaining. And UCLA will punt with a 17-point lead.
Now you want to set up a return right here. You have the wind. You don't want to risk roughing the punter. Set up a return. You have the wind with your offense, and you operate your fast-paced offense.
Jordan Westerkamp back for the punt. Sean Covington, who dropped the snap in the first half that led to a Nebraska touchdown. He has this one cleanly. Low wobbler into the wind. Fair catch made by Westerkamp at the 24-yard line. Nebraska's won 14 straight non-conference home games, but that streak is in big trouble right now in Lincoln. That would be stunning.
That's App State lines right there.
I think you made the argument Appalachian State was better. Martinez throws far side. Kenny Bell couldn't pull away. He was down. Ankle tackled by Miles Jack. Nebraska scoreless on its last 7 possessions. They've had 21-3. Look like they might win in a laugher, and it is totally turned around the other way. Taylor Martinez is now thrown for 204 yards. His pass batted down by Jack. And he's a true freshman. Didn't start in the first game against Nevada, but he was all over the tape when you watched it. And Jim Moore said he's special. He has to start, and he has to start right now.
And I agree with Coach Moore after watching him play today. And Rodriguez can help his buddy out by taking his knees out to get his hands down to create a throwing lane so he can get the ball to him. But Jack, really, he's something. And we're seeing a lot of outstanding true freshman linebackers in this game.
From the Seattle area, Miles Jack from Bellevue, Washington, was a part of some state championship sprint relay teams, so he can really run. Martinez, look out, finally gets it off, batted around and incomplete. It's starting to look like schoolyard ball now. Just run around and hope somebody runs open over by the swing set.
Well, and again, Sean, he's got to be able to recognize that he's a good runner. He had a chance to get the first down with his legs. And he's trying to make too many plays with his arm, and he doesn't understand that if he uses his legs, it will help him make plays with his arm.
Fultz to punt again. Martinez, his performance today has gone over 7,000 career passing yards. He hasn't been able to run it at all. Minus 13 yards rushing. Evans, a fair catch at the 28-yard line. UCLA seemingly on its way to a big road win in Lincoln, Nebraska. UCLA the ball in a 17-point lead under 8.5 minutes to go. And on first down, it's Jordan James ahead for 2. Greg McMullen took him down. Jim Moore said one of the big questions of this team was who would step forward and replace Jonathan Franklin, the all-time leading rusher at UCLA, now in the National Football League. And it looks like they might have found their man in the junior Jordan James. They also anticipate getting Damian Thigpen back soon from a knee injury. Hundley running out of time threw it away. And a flag thrown, apparently for a late hit on Greg McMullen. Freshman out of Akron, Ohio.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90. Unnecessary shove. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You understand the frustration of the crowd, but
I don't agree with that call.
But nobody agrees with it.
He's winding up to throw it.
But that's, you got to get a feel for how the officials are calling. Then you got to be able to adjust your game in game. And if they're calling it close, you got to be, as a coach, tell your players no unnecessary hits whatsoever, because it's killing us. And that's twice Nebraska's been hurt by that. I don't know anybody in America that likes it.
Nope. I understand, all the emphasis on protecting players. That's a lateral. That's a free ball. And Shaq Evans got on it after Paul Perkins couldn't catch it. That's a very dangerous throw at this juncture. Risking a turnover. And throwing a lateral. I'm not sure it was intended to be a lateral by design, but it was.
Yeah, you'd like to have that one back. I think you want to
backward pass.
Keep it safe.
Good news for UCLA, because it was not a forward pass and not an incompletion. The clock runs. It is a 9-yard loss. On the draw, Paul Perkins. Flag thrown. Did they grab him by the face mask? The ball's out. It's Nebraska's ball if it stands. Well, the line judge threw a flag. Looked like the head of the runner got spun around. Avery Moss recovered it after Corey Cooper knocked it out.
I think Kevin Maurice, number 55, is trying to make an effort play and catches the face mask of Perkins.
Personal foul. Face mask. 55 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
No question about the call.
Yeah, again, it's the right call, and it's not a dirty play. You're just lunging and diving, trying to get an arm in there, and you hit him high, and he does come off, but they will call that every time. It's the right call. It's tough.
And 2 15-yard penalties on the last 3 plays. Nebraska penalized 7 times. Stephen Manfro now in. Tailback. Philip Rule, the fullback. And Hundley wisely letting the clock run down. He kept it and got smothered at the 42-yard line. Avery Moss, help from Malik Collins. Here's a look at today's good hands play, brought to you by Allstate. A catch by Shaq Evans.
Winning his
touchdown.
Winning his one-on-one battle, and Hundley dropping it right into the bucket, making it not an easy, but a relatively easy catch, I guess, for Shaq Evans. Good player. Boy, I'm really impressed with Hundley. You can see why Todd McShay has him ranked number 2 behind Teddy Bridgewater.
He has just about everything you'd want. Size and arm strength. Running ability. Stephen Manfro, the ball carrier, to the 35-yard line. The seats are empty here now as a record crowd. They love the way it started. And Taylor Martinez and the Cornhuskers raced off to a 21-3 lead, and everything was going their way. And the game totally turned. Give UCLA credit. They've looked like the much better team here today. Small pockets of their fans, not exactly in the prime seats here at this great venue, which dates back to 1923.
Similar to last year's game, Sean, where Nebraska scored a lot of points in the first half and got 6 in the second. This year, they've been shut out in the second half.
Hundley running for a first down. Avery Moss made the tackle, and Corey Cooper. Something with this young talent. They're a year away. What do you think about UCLA now as maybe even getting into national championship talk? I mean, most people think that Oregon, Stanford are a little bit better in the Pac-12, but who knows?
Well, I mean, you're looking at Oregon, Stanford, and Stanford's the physical team. Oregon's the score points. I think watching these guys, their skill positions and how good their defense is, they can play with anybody in the Pac-12 and anybody in the country, especially because you have number 17 back there calling the shots.
And they're extremely well coached. Malcolm Jones breaks off some tackles. Chopped down by Josh Mitchell. Let's send you back to Chris Cotter. 18-yard run for Jones, the 4th tailback to touch the ball today. They'll get another call. Malcolm's a senior. And 3 touches against Nevada and scored 2 touchdowns.
I think, again, you talk about UCLA and how far they've progressed. And one reason why it makes me think they can compete in the Pac-12 is because they have depth now. They have a lot of depth at running back, at receivers. We were talking to Coach Moore. You're going down his list of receivers, and everybody's good.
Yeah, the offensive line was brutal in many ways last year. They gave up 52 sacks, 3rd highest total in the country. It was a very young, inexperienced offensive line. They're still on the young side, but much more experienced after a year. And UCLA has 503 yards of total offense. Another big number put on the Nebraska defense today. Back in Lincoln, here's the Pacific Life game summary. History made today by UCLA. The 28 points they scored in the 3rd quarter, the most ever given up by Nebraska in any quarter in a game here at Memorial Stadium, which dates back to 1923. They trailed 21-3. Brett Hundley had that big first down run late in the first half to extend a drive. They wound up scoring on it. They have dominated the game for the last 2.5 quarters. And a lot of problems to solve for John Papuchis, the defensive coordinator, and Bo Pelini, who's very actively involved in the defense.
Well, you know, I think they love to play man coverage, but it's very difficult to continually to play man if there's no pressure. We saw pressure in the first half, and there's been a lack of pressure in the second half, and it's just target practice for a quarterback as skilled as Hundley. It's too easy.
Under 3 minutes to go. 3rd down and 2 at the 4. They get another first down inside the 2. Malcolm Jones is stopped by Corey Cooper. At the stats from the first 2 weeks, Chris, a little bit alarming. It's early in the year, but Nebraska was 103rd in the nation in pass defense and 90th in total defense, and they had played home games against Wyoming and Southern Miss. Southern Miss did win a game last year.
Yeah, and I think it's cause for concern. And this was kind of a benchwater mark of where they were going to be, and right now they have a lot of work to go. And you know, Bo and John got it right there. You see them in your TV, have to get their heads together and say, okay, what can we do to make it better? How are we going to make it better? And one thing I would suggest is that you got to pick and choose, maybe blitzing a little bit more to take some pressure off your coverage guys.
UCLA let the clock run all the way down, called a timeout. Looks like they're going to attempt a field goal when we come back. Here's Fairbairn after UCLA took 6.5 minutes off the clock in that possession. They get 3 more. Second half dominated by UCLA. Jordan James, the first touchdown in an onslaught of 4 of them. Long pass to Shaq Evans. Rule out of the backfield, a great effort. They extended across the goal line and then wide open. The essay in the back of the end zone. They made it look easy, and it was easy.
It was. And the thing that Jim Moore has to be pleased about is the balance that they had on offense. And again, there was no rhythm, and we talked about maybe their minds were somewhere else at the beginning of the game. They got into the rhythm, and Bo was concerned. Bo Pelini was concerned going into the half. He told Shannon Spake that, man, that touchdown going into the second half gave UCLA momentum, and they just carried it on throughout the second half. Their defense has been outstanding the second half, shutting them out.
It's the most points Nebraska's given up at home since October 4th, 2008, when Missouri beat them 52-17 here. Fairbairn will kick off this time. Returnable for Kenny Bell from the 5. Flag down behind the play, thrown by the referee. Bell was tackled to the 25 by Cameron Judge.
During the return, holding number 19 on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Oh, what a game.
Man.
Michigan and Akron. Newby carries here for Nebraska out to the 12. We got 7 on first down. We're down to a minute and a half to go. Now a half-empty Memorial Stadium.
Not only that game, but how about Blake Bell? Maybe making a case that, hey, maybe I should have been a starter at the beginning of the year.
Newby again. First down. Ball's out, say the Bruins. No indication from the officials that it's their ball. And they're going to talk about it.
No fumble.
Eric Kendricks in on the stop. It looked like he was down. Might have been on his backside, and the ball popped out. Newby to the 20. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship begins tomorrow on ESPN at Chicagoland Speedway. The best drivers field now includes Gordon, who was given a mulligan.
Make them up as we go.
Yeah, just throw everybody back in there. They begin a 10-week battle for the championship. It all starts at the Geico 400 in Chicago.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Tomorrow at 1 on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. Because of all that maneuvering and people helping their teammates and guys spinning out intentionally, it was a mess.
Pulling out of pit stops. Who knows? Big win for Jim Moore and staff. Honor.
Program to show a lot of character and a lot of love for Nick Pasquale with the way they played today. Wanted so much to win for him. Wonder if perhaps the beginning of the game was hard to manage those emotions, but once they settled in, they dominated this game. A lot of respect between those two. A very emotional coach who was fighting back tears on the field before the game. Runs off after a win. He's been involved in a lot of wins in his career at a lot of levels. I imagine very few have meant as much as this one, if any. Shannon.
Coach, you said this week that it really wasn't about a win or a loss. This was about Nick. But how far does this win go in the healing process for you guys?
Our goal today was to honor Nick. Our goal today was to come out here and have our play reflect everything that he meant to us and everything that was great about him, so that his family sitting at home, Mel, Lori, AJ, we did it for your son. We did it for your son.
How much of the emotional side of this do you think affected your first half play?
I don't know. I don't like excuses. I just think we were a little tight, and I think that's a really good football team over there. And I just told the guys at halftime, I says, dang, it's good to see you finally, you know. And we finally showed up in the second quarter and started to play with a little bit of confidence like we've earned. And we got one for Nick, baby. That's what I know, is we got one for Nick. So
looking ahead, we asked you this week how good this team could be this year, and you said, ask me after this game. So how good can you guys be?
We can be good if we keep working hard. We stay focused. We don't get ahead of ourselves. We prepare this week like we prepared every week. I'm going to give you every coach cliche there is, but that's the key to it. We got to stay humble and stay focused.
Thanks, Coach. We're going to walk over here and talk to your quarterback right now. Great game for you guys today. What do you think was the turning point for you guys?
I just think when we relaxed and just took it slow. You know, first half there was a lot of emotions in this game. I mean, for instance, me. I mean, there was a lot of emotions for this game. I mean, with Pacquiao going, and second half we calmed down and then played our game.
What were the emotions like in the first half for you guys? I mean, we could see the towel that you're carrying around. What were the emotions like for you guys because of the loss of Nick?
To be honest, they're unexplainable. Unexplainable.
How were you guys able to get past it?
We just had to play, and we played for him. This is the game. This is the game for him.
Great job today.
Thank you.
Guys?
Obviously, the emotion's still very raw, and understandably so. And Jim Moore deserves a lot of credit. I mean, he said one of the things he likes coaching about college football is that you have to be in many ways a father figure to these men. Boy, did they need him this week, and did he stand up to that challenge. A win all Bruins should be proud of. Really a good day for college football. Final score 41-21. Coming up next, college football action continues. Tennessee and Oregon. So long, everybody.